game actually got to name them. Big Bute is a Highling cleric that we found in the game. It's a good name. And the fact that he has 69 hit points is a coincidence, but it's still a pretty funny coincidence. We've entered the code. Because of your superior intellect and intelligence, you have saved Kron and all of its warrants. This ship, created by the Ancients, is a grand experiment designed to populate this distant world. Prepare to beam down in Might and Magic 3. It's here, on the floor. I didn't see it. Thank you, my friends. You have banished chaos and rejected the false path of uncompromising order. Under the weight of the evidence and from the skilled pressure tactics of your lawyer, Lucas breaks down and admits to their crime. Congratulations, Ace. I think we're having a real moment here. I've changed my mind. I can't give her up. You can have your money back. How could I sell something so dear? And again, a deal's a deal, right? Right? Catch you later. Good luck. Enjoy. I'm out of here. Let's pick up the bottle of grog here. Pick up the root beer. Use the root beer with the jug. Apparently root beer works very well. We get to see an instant replay. And a view from the blimp as well. I wonder what would happen if I tore the leg off this thing. Ark.
You have a reservation. Madre de Dios, es el Puyo Diablo.
Come on, I'm ready for you.
Yeah. Here it goes.
Enter visualization request.
Let's try it in the other order.
Subject code accepted. 6452331 recognized. Beginning message.
Grand experiment of the Ancients to use the technology of elemental manipulation to create a completely viable ecological and social microcosm. This microcosm was then to be transported to a distant biosphere, Terra, to supplant its indigenous ecosystem. The need was acknowledged for a central controlling unit capable of compensating for expected anomalies.
Well struck. That looks like a fatal blow.
Yeah, die.
My death will not save you from our wrath.
Are you going to plug me into Link, sir? I hope you know what you're doing.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Something is happening, I think. Yes, I'm gaining control. I found my destiny, Mr. Foster.
Goes in the middle. Perhaps you didn't even need to know that. The yellow crystal is over on the left side, and the blue one is on the right side. Switch to Annie, have her pull the lever to close the trapdoor, have her push the switch on this side, switch to Zack, have him push the switch on this side. On our way through this wall. Another mini boss. Welcome in. I hope the microphone is working. Yes, it is. I can see the level at least. Now, I have a new toy here. I have a mixer. Hey there, Metro. Welcome in. I have a mixer on the desk right now that I just got. I've hooked all of the inputs into the mixer. I have no idea if it actually works or not, so we'll see if we get any audio from the game. We could definitely get some audio from Pretzel. That still works just fine. Welcome in, guys. It's been a long time since we've had a Wednesday stream. Let's get some background music here. Thanks for shouting out Metro. Where's the shoutout player? Might not have a clip. Might not have an active clip. I assume you can hear Pretzel in the background, so you hear some background music. So jump into the game con. At least that seems to work. So I do remember there being some audio in this game though. Mute Pretzel just for a bit here. See if I hear any game audio. No. Not seemingly. Might not be any. At this very point in time, let's see what happens when we move along, whether we hear any audio. The thing with this game is that we've started it now 3 times, I think, at least. And we can't seem to be able to actually save the game, which is not a minor inconvenience. It's basically a flaw to the point where I'm getting very tired of having to restart the game again and again. We made it about 2/3 into the game last stream, and we couldn't save. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to walk through the entire game and finish it off. I can't really be bothered with this fact that I can't seem to be able to save. It's a nuisance to a level where I just don't want to deal with it. So what we'll do is we'll just wrap it up. We've been through this multiple times here. There's a piece of paper here. The floor somewhere near the ashtray. Hey there, 48 kg. I was just saying we're going to yeah, I keep having to restart this game. I'm very tired of it, so I'm just going to wrap it up tonight. We made it 2/3 of the way last time. I really don't want to keep having to restart it from scratch every single stream. It takes forever. So, we were close to the end last time. Some words have been quickly scribbled on it. We must resolve this problem evening tonight, 8 AM at the bar. It's a matter of life and death. Signed, F. No, it's not, but there seems to be some bug in it. So once you're a little bit into the game, I can no longer access the shortcut to save the game. I'm not sure whether it's a bug in the WHD load version I have of the game or something else, but to access this menu, you have to basically click both buttons, and at some point that's just not possible anymore. So once you've progressed a little bit into the game, you can't save anymore. So I've had to restart it now twice, and I'm not gonna do that for the 4th time. So we'll restart it now once more from scratch, and we'll just play it all the way through. I'd already written down every single step we took on the vault, and I figured we might as well just then follow a walkthrough and just finish the game. Because I want to get started on a role-playing game on the Amiga. I think the vote in the Discord is pretty much done. I'm doing pretty good, Will. Hope you're doing well yourself. Welcome in, by the way, and welcome in 48km if I didn't say so already. I think I already welcomed Ava and Mitchell. They were here very early.
But this should be a fun project, so
4K, 8K RAM in his essence. Doing some retro repairs. Now we where is the bar again in this? It just goes to Twitch and it picks up the latest clip, and you can obviously you can go to Twitch and you can delete your own clips if you don't like them. So if people have clipped your channel and you don't like the clip, you can simply just delete it. Of course, you can also make your own clips if you want. Let's go to the bar. Now we have in-game music. I've acquired a mixer here on the desk now, so I can do weird things like roll the audio in and out. And I don't have to actually disconnect any cables anymore, which is a great treat. And the CD-ROM simulator arrived this morning after traveling from San Jose to LA, and from LA to Frankfurt, and from Frankfurt to Nairobi in Kenya, and from Nairobi to Copenhagen in Denmark, and from Copenhagen to Iceland. Only took a month and a half, which I suppose
USPS thinks is 3 to 5 business days. Yeah, it only shows. I think it starts at the beginning of the clip. Yeah, it's a CD-ROM emulator, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it actually functions. I still have yet to get Indiana Jones working stably on the PC. Yet to see whether I can circumvent this weird clocking bug that's in it. So, I remember it very well. It happened last night. Father Fabiani arrived first and Mr. Karabujan joined him. They sat right here. The father looked furious, but they spoke so low that I couldn't hear a thing. They left 10 minutes later. Yeah, I think it has jet lag. It's been basically around the entire world. Thank you for the information. I think I'll ask Father Fabiani a few questions. 1 minute expector. In the rush, the father forgot his... What did he forget again? The prayer book, right. Let's use the map. Where was it again? Is it this one? It's this one. Now, the father's suitcase is here under his bedside table, and it's filled with playing cards, dice, a roulette wheel, and some clips. Turns out the father is quite a gambler. Going through the prayer book, you find a letter, which we take, and we read the letter. The letter states, Father Fabiani, I've received some very offensive information about you. These rumors are proven true. Our entire brotherhood will be disgraced, and if that happens, we'll have no choice but to take severe action against you, Lord Bishop Marathi. Such is life. Now, we use the map again, because now we need to go to the dining room, which is here. There we find Father Fabiani dining. Good morning, my son. I came from the bar and the waiter told me that you have my prayer book. How scatterbrained I am at my age, the memory starts to go. Can I help you, Inspector? I'm a close friend of the Karabujan family. Why did you get this? It's none of your business. Regarding the bishop's letter, mind your own business, Inspector, around his suitcase. We can ask him about Hector the butler. Hector is a good butler. Meeting at the bar, so what? Nicholas is dead. Sad news. Nicholas was a good person. What a fine chatter. Obviously busy eating. This channel is in fine hands. Moderated by Eva Glampire. We need to go to the upper deck and speak with Suzanne. Been there, done that. Have a little chat with Susan, who likes her drink a bit. I help you, Inspector Fabiani. Father Fabiani is a good man. Father Fabiani told me that he had some troubles, but I didn't think that they could be so serious. Listen, Inspector, I'm afraid there are some nasty people who amuse themselves by soiling the reputation of others. Have a seen this suitcase. I'm a very good friend of the Karabujan family, aren't you all? Hector was Nicholas's dear friend. He's a loyal servant, isn't he? Guess we'll find out. I was sleeping at that time, the time of the meeting at the bar. Poor Hector seemed really shocked when he told me the news. It must be said that he was really devoted to Nicholas. I was frightfully surprised by Daphne's cold-bloodedness when she learned about her father's death. Quite. Now we need to go see Mr. Tom. He's in the smoking lounge. What's new, Inspector? Let's talk about him first. My solicitor's office takes care of Nicholas's business. Indeed. Father Fabiani is an old friend of the Karabujan family. I have never heard anything of this letter. Never told me about this matter. I see that you're well informed, Inspector. Indeed, Father Fabiani doesn't ever leave his suitcase behind. Doesn't ever leave his suitcase because, despite looking like a saint, one hell of a gambler. Quite. Susan likes to stick her nose into other people's business, and believe me, the gossip she digs up is unfounded. In any case, Susan would no longer be part of our entourage if she wasn't a close friend of Father Fabiani. They have known each other for a long time, and you know the father is always stuck up for lost causes. Hector is Nicholas's butler and his right arm, I suppose. Hector was already working for Nicholas when I met him. They share a closeness. They share the closeness, hard to explain. I don't know, I was in my room at that moment and I didn't hear anything. Nicholas wasn't a saint, but I don't see who would want to get back at him so much to kill him. In any case, Hector must be the one who's unhappy. Never seen such a zealous servant. Quite. Go back to the main deck. Let's go talk to Julio. He's not here. I go to the... Yeah, immaculate hair. The wonders of combs. I'm supposed to be here. Ah, there's Julio. Cat. I ask you a few questions. Sorry, Senior Inspector. Daphne is not well enough to be able to answer your questions at the moment. But if you want, I'm at your disposal. Fine. Very good. I'll question Daphne later on. Senior Logan is a tough hombre. I think he likes me not. Not wrong about that. I'm Daphne's amigo. I hope so. El Padre Fabiani is a very nice old man. I've never seen the letter. Don't think so. Maybe better. I never heard of it. Miss Susanna and Padre Fabiani saw each other often for a time. If El Padre had not been a priest, I would have sworn there was something between them. Oh, seriously, I heard that Susanna is under medical treatment and El Padre is in charge of watching over her. He even insisted that Susanna be invited on the cruise. Doesn't know anything about the suitcase and doesn't know anything about the whys. Miss Susanna is very kind. The poor thing is in a very delicate health. Seems that last year she spent several months at the hospital. You already heard this. El Celio Carapuccio was not very keen about the idea, but he finally gave in to El Padre's wishes. Seems that El Celio Carapuccio doesn't appreciate Miss Susanna too much. Don't really know what she had. You know, I avoid talking to her about it. Hector is El Padre del Senor Carapucciani is a strong senor. Devotion followed El Senor Carapucciani everywhere. I never saw nothing pero last night. I was in the bar. Was there around 10ish. Terrible news. Poor Daphne. This was a great shock to her. Here you are, Inspector. Even I was completely abashed. El Senor Carapucciani has always been nice to me. This was his only family. Of course, there was Rebecca, but that wasn't the same thing. Fine. Time marches on. We reuse the map. We go back to the smoking lounge. There's now a piece of paper underneath the chair. Took us a while to find the first stream. It's a little bit more information for us. It's a receipt for a diamond Cartier bracelet that cost $3,000. We go back to the dining room. Talk to the priest again. Go through all of this again. Excuse me for being frank, Inspector. I thought he was Fabiani, not Frank. For me, Tom is an opportunist. He's young and brilliant and he takes advantage of this. See now where this has brought Rose. One breakdown after another. This marriage has ruined her life. Rose was captivated by Tom. When this bright boy appeared in her life, she lost her head. Whether he liked it or not, Rose's father finally gave his assent to their marriage. Maybe with the hope that his daughter would forget being jilted in her previous love affair. Once married, Tom started going out, leaving his wife to run after the first skirt that appeared. Yeah, Tom is nice. Julio is a nice boy, but he's not very productive. These are only rumors. Yeah. He doesn't want to discuss himself at all. San is a brave girl. 6 months ago that the pole girl had to dry out, and despite this she is still drinking. Alas, God forgive her. Good friends for a long time. Susan really wanted to go on the cruise. As she is a good friend of mine, I want to see Nicholas to talk to him about it. He wasn't very enthusiastic, and as I insisted, he finally accepted. You know, Susan and him have never got on. Susanna and Nicholas were like cat and dog, undoubtedly because he was the only one who dared stand up to him. They spent their time arguing, for instance, just yesterday. It was 6 months ago that the poor girl had to dry out. Susanna is a good girl, Inspector. Unfortunately, when she had one drink, she can't stop herself from having a second and a third. As I was going back to my cabin, I came upon them as they were arguing. Don't see what you're getting at. Talking to him about this receipt. Poor Tom, not surprising that he has financial problems. Rumors, but it appears that Tom is seriously in the red. Right. We can still save at least. Now we go to the bar. It doesn't surprise me, Inspector, and he deserves it. I honestly think that Rose did not make a good choice. There is little to say, Inspector. Julio is the eldest son of a Spanish industrial family. His parents' wealthy situation allows him to lead an idle life. But the gentleman says that he's a race car driver, and I fear that he boasts his achievements to anybody that will listen. Julio is crazy about race cars, but I'm afraid he would do better to be more involved with his father's business. Yeah, he's a playboy. I heard they were in the textile business, but I'm not quite sure, but I bet that Julio would not be able to tell you more. Anyhow, what's certain is that they have a frightfully huge fortune. Julio is in a secure position. He decides to get involved in something more serious than his race cars. This fellow will find himself at the head of a veritable empire. Right. Nothing but gossip. We've known each other for ages. I was surprised by Nicholas's invitation. You know, he and I were not on very good terms. To tell you the truth, I didn't like Hector very much, and the feeling was mutual. Talk about something else. Not very gentlemanly to talk about the alcoholisms. He doesn't want to talk about dispute. Who knows what they argued about? I never saw that receipt. Okay. Fine. We use the map again. We go to Julio's chamber. Go to Julio's chamber and we take that key that's next to the golf bag, which has certainly appeared. It's not here when you go first into the room. On the floor now, I think, somewhere. Or is it perhaps not there? Supposedly it's already here. Missing a step here somewhere. That's why the key isn't there. What did we forget? Did we give him the prayer book? Is that perhaps what's missing? No, we obviously gave him the... Let's see, let's go through my notes here. What did we forget to do? No one here in his office. Not allowed in the butler's cabin. Allowed here. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's the actual in-game music. Yeah, they did. The little there is of music in these games is actually pretty good. And, as the years progressed, put more and more music in. No, I think I've never even heard of Shadow of the Comet. She's still here. think we basically exhausted this conversation. I do like a good jam as well. Strawberry, perhaps blueberry. Usually not, but maybe if I take the kids somewhere, the kids dress up for sure. Oh. What are we supposed to do with this mermaid? Code 1D. Makes no sense. Perhaps we'll see. Perhaps we'll see. No promises. Can't get into this one. I should I? Can't get in here, can I? No. Can't get in here though. Again. Must be something that we have discussed with him. After all, my financial state is in very good health. The complete success we were made for each other, he says about his marriage. That's probably not true. Julio is the partner that Niklas had chosen for his daughter Daphne. His father's son is an incompetent who would be nothing without his parents' money. Considerable, very considerable old Niklas really knew what he was doing when he wanted to marry his daughter to Julio. Right. My father is a gambler. I've sometimes seen him lose lots of money. Really hated each other. Several tryout treatments. The last one was barely 6 months ago. Where have you found this receipt? This is none of your business. Right. Time advances. Obviously, we had yet to do this. You have to have seen Ernest, Will. Ernest was all over the old VHS stores here in Iceland when I was a kid. Maybe it was in the UK. It was certainly here in Iceland at least. This is basically where I want to go now. I want to get that key. It should now be on the floor, right? Yeah, here it is. Tempting. Time matches on. Key you found on the rug. And we know what this key is for. It's for the roll desk in the old man's office down in the basement. Key, insert in, lock. Right. Roll top desk opens. Here are two things. Thank you note. The jewel case. The bracelet. Why can't we read the thank you note? That's right, there are initials here on the clasp. Initials from the clasp of the bracelet, which read RJ. Roll desk. Read the thank you note. Dear Nicholas, with great emotion that last Sunday I received a testimony of your immense generosity. I beg you, dear Nicholas, to accept from me on behalf of my parishioners my sincere and infinite gratitude. Your devoted servant, Father Fabiani. Right, the priest was probably running a racketeer, hidden as a charity, collecting money to fund his gambling problem. At least I assume that's the case. We haven't actually found out yet, but I assume that was the case. I do have a beard, yeah. It's slightly trimmed now. It isn't quite as big as it was for a bit there, but I do have a beard. Now, there's an invitation in this drawer. engagement invitations. Miss Rebecca Vivian Jones and her husband, Mr. Nicholas Carapuccian, have the pleasure to request the honor of your presence at the engagement of their daughter Daphne to Mr. Julio Esperanza í Sakalabada. Rebecca Vivian Jones, RVJ. That's the initials on the necklace. Go back here because we have to hear Tom talking to his wife. I forget how we did that. I think we just walked in this direction. Maybe we listened somewhere. Come on, Tom, don't be a fool. Someone could see us. Yeah. There they are. But Rebecca, quiet, there's someone coming. Now they're obviously having an affair. Yeah, it's hard to lose a Gotek. It's a decently sized object, 48k RAM. So now we go. This took us a long time to figure out at the time. Go to the laundry room next. And what time is it? Isn't it like it's like 10 to 11, right? A bathrobe. Examining the bathrobe, he noticed the initials EK. Searching through the bathrobe's pocket, you find a necklace. Which we take. Now we go and knock on the door in Father Fabiani's cabin, which is right here. Knockety knock. Gets very mad if we just walk right in. Just thank you note. Discuss Rebecca and Tom's relationship. I have a feeling they get along well. Tom is an opportunist, young and brilliant, and takes advantage of it. Yeah, we already know all of this. Is there anything else we can discuss about Julio? No. Nothing else we can discuss about him, right? There's nothing else we can discuss about Suzanne. No further talking points here. Quite a few here. We could discuss the necklace. This is Agnes, Nicholas's aunt. The latter had a lot of affection for the old lady. Agnes was a charming old lady, always ready to help. She was very religious. Right. For Tom, not surprising that he has financial problems. Engagement invitation. Nicholas only had one desire, to marry off his daughter. I believe that he found Julio suitable enough and sped things up by announcing their engagement. Nicholas thought he had a bad character, but sometimes he knew how to play the gentleman. His gesture was surprising, but it was very much appreciated. When Inspector last winter, lightning struck our church and destroyed a large part of the bell tower. Nicholas then decided to give the required funds for its restoration. Right. Let's discuss this necklace business with Suzanne at the bar next. These two hide it very well, but I fear there is something going on between them, don't you think so? Yeah, prefer not to get into this. Pretty sure they're actually having an affair. I wasn't quite done here. Everyone was there except the fiancé. Nicholas sulked for a good week. Should have seen his face inspector. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Okay, so he had an engagement party for his daughter, but she didn't show up. That's a statement. Father Fabiani needed some money to restore the bell tower, therefore he organized a charity event in order to call upon the goodwill of his flock. Right. Complete success, and I believe the father collected enough money to restore everything. Right. Probably more than he actually needed, right? Doesn't know anything about the thank you note. This necklace belonged to Agnes, who gave it to Daphne, her niece, as a present. Right. Agnes is Nicholas's aunt. Thank you. Come again. That's Tom again. I hold Rebecca in high esteem. Are you kidding? It's better. There's never been anything between Rebecca and me. That's a lie. Then Nicholas came up empty-handed because his daughter categorically refused. It's the first time that I saw Nicholas give up. Right. Points here. On B, mistaken Inspector Nicholas gave anything away for nothing. Necklace belonged to Agnes. He gave it to Daphne on her 18th birthday. Yeah. Okay. You come again? There we go. There we go here. There is a new character being introduced now with the stick guy. Hey, the last time, Lord, we're this is the third part of this stream of this game, and I took a slight intermission between streams, like 10 weeks or so, because my wife was doing courses at the university on Friday on Wednesdays, so I couldn't do these streams. And very early on, we discovered a bug in the game, so you can't save after a certain point. So I have to start from scratch every time. So this time around, I'm basically just playing through the entire game. I'm maybe about halfway through, slightly less. So if you want to see how it plays out, you can basically just sit back and watch it till its end. I've written down. Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is not a bug in the original game. This is a bug in the WHD load copy that I have of it. Because there is no way this bug made it into the released game. There's something that triggers it. I'm not sure what it is. It works for a while, but then I can't access the menu to save the game. fishy story about Rebecca and Tom relationships. These two, they have something to hide. You only have to look at them. Here, Inspector, yesterday I saw them speaking in whispers that Tom character had a large knife in his hand. Logan is a first-class scoundrel, if you ask me. The little one doesn't seem very happy. It's none of my business, but if I saw my wife on the arm of a guy running around with a weapon of this kind, would you think there was something going on, Inspector? I probably would. It's Julio.
Hey, dance your cares away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down if I go up. Oh, hey, look.
Welcome in, Coconut. Thanks for the raid.
Yo! Jaycox with the lucky raid. The guy skipped the whole long journey. Jaycox says, hey, I had a good...
Thanks for shouting out Last Time Lord. Eva, he's a great retro streamer here on Twitch.
Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down if I go up.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in for the raid. Hey there, Barker Ben as well. The Amiga Gamer, Coconut. Welcome in, guys. We're playing this game from scratch tonight. I started at the very start of the game and slowly making my way through the game. When I visited your stream, Coconut, you were playing this rather weird FMV-like adventure. It was actually pretty cool. This is a good game, but it suffers from a bug in this version that I can't save after a certain point. So that's weird. So I keep having to restart it, so now I'm just going to run through it and finish it. It probably doesn't have a lot to say about Julio. Lots of characters in this game. Where we play the part of this detective. We're investigating a murder. The old man with all the money is dead, and nobody knows who offed him, but it's someone on the cruise. And our job is to figure out who it is. There's lots of shady characters, of course. There's Fabiani, the priest with the gambling problem. There's Suzanne, the recovering alcoholic that is still drinking at the bar. A friend of the priest and not so much a friend of the old man, Nicholas. There's this old lawyer who seems to be cheating on his wife with everything in a skirt. There's his daughter that doesn't want to get engaged to the man that her father wants her to marry. There's his butler who he met in the war. And there's this guy. And there are various other scoundrels in this game. Plenty of people who could have offed the old man, for sure. He grew up in the street, first in the orphanage and then the Foreign Legion. A true man's life, you know. Quite a bit of backstory about this guy that we'll find out just in a little bit. And Agnes, the rich aunt, was apparently his mother, and he's an illegitimate child. He grew up in an orphanage. Nicholas, the old man, he was taking care of her before her death, and I think he discovered, much to his dismay, that Dick was about to inherit a huge part or almost all of the inheritance from the old lady. That could have certainly started off a row between them. Never heard of this. It's Daphne, she never goes anywhere without it. Seems that Agnes around gave it to her. So many things that could potentially have happened here. For your help, time marches on. So once you solve a puzzle in the game, the time in the game advances, and you can keep playing. Now, just to spite me, we're still able to save the game this time around. Works perfectly fine now. Now, let's see. The next step is to go here to Daphne's cabin. That's Susan. She's passed out from drinking on her bed. Somewhere here there was something in the wardrobe on either side here. Yeah, here. In this cosmetic case. A prescription here that we need to pilfer. Incomprehensible medical gibberish. In any case, the prescription list is long. I'm sure it is. Now we go to the bar. Head to the bar. This map is very handy. You can make your way with just walking about the ship, but once you've done that once or twice, this map comes in handy. You can basically access all the floors of the ship from the bottom and to the top. And now we can take this glass and the bottle as well. Now we go back to the upper desk. That again here. There's Susan. We give her the drink. She's not in a mood to talk to us. That's where we... How did we do this again? Slobs, you know. That's how we did it. That's too nice of you, Inspector. Yeah. Have a shot. Funny enough, I needed a little pick-me-up, I'll say. Need to ask her about the prescription. This is where we start to find out about the old lady's illness. It's probably here. Yeah. Some medicine for Agnes. The old lady was very ill. Agnes was obviously an old lady, but she had an iron constitution. Illness struck her down with one blow. Instead of hospitalizing her, Nicholas moved her to his house to take care of her. Yeah. Basically the bit that we find out now. Now we go. Time marches on. We go back to the smoking lounge now. It's next to the bar, and we have a little chat with the solicitor. This was very serious. I don't think that Nicholas ever held out much hope, but he still put her up at his house to take care of her. After all, she was his only family. Commendation. Nicholas put up his hand during several months, taking attentive care of her, but the poor little lady didn't outlive her illness. There's something fishy about all of this. Agnes left a very large fortune and a surprising will. He doesn't know about the will. I'm fairly sure we made it well past this point last stream, and although it's been 2 months and a half or whatever it was, I remember that Dick, her illegitimate son, he got quite a bit of the inheritance. So now we go back to Father Fabiani's cabin. Can't just barge in there. We need to go to the portside bow, and knock politely on the door. What's a lot of bow, Balkanbin? I help you, Inspector. Yeah, we're mainly curious about Agnes at this point. Exemplary Christian left us 3 months ago, leaving behind the entire fortune of the Karibujan family. Well, didn't have too much luck. When Agnes fell ill, Nicholas let her stay at his house to take care of her. Alas, God called for her. Right. A huge fortune, Inspector. She willed almost all of it to her son and an illegitimate child. The rest went to Daphne. Yeah, that's sure to have started quite a row. Oh, a tragic error of youth. Inspector Agnes was 20 years old. She was a beautiful young girl. One day she decided to take piano lessons. The piano teacher was a young and handsome man. He's bald, by the way, and old, but sure. What had to happen happened. This created a family scandal. Agnes's father threw the bold youngster out of his house and locked up his daughter. The worst was done, and 9 months later the fruit of this union was born. The latter was placed in an orphanage, and Agnes, sick with chagrin, shut herself away in a convent. There you are, Inspector. This is Agnes' sad story. Agnes' son grew up, and it was only recently that I came upon his trail. His name is Mr. Smock, Dick Smock. Dick Smock. Time matches on. Thank you. Come again. Now, the next step in this is to sneak up on the porthole. I think it was this cabin. Yeah. How can you think I'm going to stand for this? This is Rebecca arguing with the solicitor. Come on, Rebecca, my dear. After all, this is her son. His son, my foot. Before he saw the will, he didn't even know his real family existed. When I think that this imbecile inherited everything, I will kill him. Rebecca is the old man's former wife. And I guess she's a little bit... She's getting the short end of the stick here. I dear you don't believe what you're saying. And then anyway... And I hear someone... Yeah, you do. take here may be the glue stick of an inspector. Yeah, we'll see who's a glue stick. Time marches on. Yeah, Rebecca was the partner of Nicholas, but he had a wife before that. So we're about to find out about that now. In this cabinet here. Pile of here somewhere. Don't close the cabin, dumbass. Again. Yeah, here it is. Under envelope, you look inside. June 14th, 1912, an automobile accident. Last night, a tragic accident occurred on a little country road. The driver, a young woman, ran head on into a tree, causing her instant death. Her husband, Nicholas Karabujan, an important businessman, announced this morning that he would file charges against the automobile company, etc. Time marches on. So we know how his first wife died. Now we go back to the father's cabin. I think he isn't there at this point. No, he's not. Move a little bit. An iron box. Pocket watch there. At the bottom of the wardrobe. We're almost now at the point where we left the game last time. We moved maybe an hour further forward before we left it last time. Now we go to Rebecca's cabin and our first chat with Rebecca. Each other in high esteem, I don't doubt. Tom was taking care of Nicholas's business. He doesn't believe Tom is having any financial difficulties. Very nice young man, maybe a little spineless, but he will certainly be the ideal husband for Daphne. Julio has a passion for car racing. Did you know that last year his father offered him a whole stable of cars? That's Daphne, the old man's daughter's fiance. He's a playboy, playing with his family's money. Julio is heir to a family fortune. It's high time he started taking care of his father's affairs. Young man has an empire waiting for him. Daphne is sometimes hard to understand. I feel that she is permanently rebelling against whatever her father stands for. I'll say. I'm Nicholas's new wife. Yeah, we sort of knew this. I don't always get along very well with Daphne, but I think we found some common ground. She doesn't get along with her daughter. She's having an affair with his lawyer. And she's just found out that he's not about to inherit the old lady's money. So there are potentially multiple motives she could have for killing the old man, but she still seems less likely than many of them. The good Father Fabiani, let me tell you, there's more to him than meets the eye. You already know this. Serious troubles ahead. I would not like to be in this place. The bishop already knows that Father Fabiani gambles. He doesn't seem to know much of anything else. Susan has been with her family for a long time. I have no idea how she got herself invited. The old busybody Nicholas hated her. Yeah, he liked Father Fabiani more, and Father Fabiani wanted her on the cruise. So Susan was invited because he insisted. Susan is a drunkard for sure. She and the old man would fight. Dick is a strange fellow, Inspector. I don't like him at all. He doesn't want to speak about his inheritance. Hector is a very efficient servant. Don't worry, Hector knows what's good for him. Hector was the old man's butler. Yeah, isn't that always the case? The butler did it, or so they say. Maybe that's the case here as well. The pocket watch was Nicholas's. What was it doing at the bottom of the cabinet then? She has no idea what the meeting at the bar was about. The necklace belongs to Daphne. I can't understand how she could dare wear something so ugly. But anyway, Daphne is sentimental and Agnes gave it to her. Right. These were Agnes's medicine. Nicholas and I had prepared everything for Daphne and Julio's engagement when I think that this little bitch has ruined everything. Right. So much for getting along, right? Agnes was Nicholas's aunt. She was a bad-tempered old woman who spent her time complaining. When Agnes fell ill, Nicholas invited her to stay at the house. Don't mention it, her stay at the house was terrible. She complained 24 hours a day. Nicholas waited on her hand and foot. However, despite his attentiveness, Agnes died barely a month ago. The old bitch, after all that we have done for her. Agnes never told us she had a son. What is really surprising is that Nicholas, who certainly knew about him, never told me anything. Yeah. The plot thickens, Mr. Dickens. Did we forget to ask her about something? No. Oh, it's Rose that we need to speak to next. This is the first time we get to talk to Rose. She's the solicitor's wife. An unhappy marriage. What are you insinuating? My husband loves me, Inspector, and I trust him. You probably shouldn't. Tom is my husband. He's an attentive and loving man. I'm sure he's not. Her marriage is ideal, right? Julio's rather naive, but he's very sweet. People say they have money. Julio, fortune, well off certainly, but they look like someone that comes from money. Nicholas was again his tactful self by announcing this to everyone except Daphne. He suspects that Julio doesn't really have a lot of money. That could certainly be a motive. Rebecca is Nicholas's wife. Oh, Daphne can't stand Rebecca, though they pretend to acknowledge each other. I believe that one day they will scratch each other's eyes out. Let's just say that Rebecca isn't a very nice person. Yeah, I'll say. I'm Tom Logan's wife. No, you're Rebecca. Father Fabiani, well, I think he's a very nice man. Yeah. She likes to see the good in people. That's not really a flaw. She knows he's been gambling, though. I don't know if I will be able to give it up. He's a real gambler. Suzanne is a dear friend. When you have a problem, she always knows what to say to make you feel better. She's very glad that Suzanne was invited. She's a smashing girl, and I don't understand why certain people amuse themselves by spreading different rumors about her. Because she doesn't let other people walk all over her, especially Nicholas, as he always stands up to him. Right. Delicate health. Susan likes to drink, but she knows when to stop. I know that's a lie. He can't stop at all. He's only met Dick once or twice. Yeah, Tom is too busy doing other things. Hector is Nicholas's butler. Haunted by some type of pact. Yeah, it's alluded at 2 or 3 points in the game that the butler and the old man were acquainted by in the war or somewhere around that part. Watch belonged to Nicholas. He wasn't aware of a meeting at the bar, but now that you bring it up, yes, last night it must have been around 8 or 10. Came back from dinner and I went up on the upper deck to get some fresh air. It was already dark and no one could see me because I was in a very dark corner. Nicholas and Father Fabiani arrived just a few minutes after me. They were speaking very softly, but I could see right away that they were arguing. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. It was a terrible accident. Daphne was at boarding school and Nicholas waited until she was a little bit older to tell her the truth about the accident. I suppose this must have been to do something for Nicholas, and I never saw this bracelet. Becca was in charge of all the invitations announcing Daphne's engagement to Julio. Agnes is the great aunt of Daphne. They were very close. When serious, Nicholas accommodated Agnes at his house for almost 6 months. Never seen Nicholas like this. He waited on Agnes' hand and foot, always at her beck and call. But despite his efforts, the old lady succumbed to her illness. Don't know the details. No one knew that Agnes had a son. Quite. Now we go and talk to Daphne next. What's new, Inspector? Quite a bit. That's none of our business. I see that you're well informed. Rebecca started to fool around with Tom less than 6 months after marrying my father. I think my father was the only one who didn't know about it. Well, him and Rose. Tom Logan is in charge of my father's business. Everyone has their own worries, Inspector. You don't have to make a fuss about it. Poor Rose never has any luck. Right. Julio's a brave fellow. He's nice, but he gets on my nerves. What do you want me to do about it? Julio had a lot of cars. They were given to him by his father. Julio's the eldest son of a rich industrial family. Put it this way, his family is wealthy. As far as he is concerned, he depends on his father. I prefer not to talk about this incident. The engagement, that is. Rebecca is an ambitious and patient woman. She did everything to seduce my father and get him up to the aisle. It happened very quickly, and I wasn't even invited to the ceremony. Anyway, I would not have gone. I see that you're well informed. Rebecca thought to fool around. We know this. Rebecca is flighty and selfish, and on top of that, look at the way she carries herself. Poor Rose, I have the impression that she doesn't have a very happy marriage. That's the worst thing that could happen to her after the grief she went through. There's mention of that previously in the game, that she's had some sort of broken heart, and her father basically arranged this marriage to Tom pretty quickly after that. Tom doesn't pay much attention to his wife. He dedicates all his time to business. Yeah, I'll say. And to other women, it seems. I've always known Father Fabiani. He had an excellent relationship with my family. Who asked the father about the letter from Bishop. Quite so, the damage was considerable. The lightning struck the bell tower. Julio and myself worked like slaves for an entire day to get everything ready for the charity event to raise money to repair the bell tower, which was probably not broken. As my friends sometimes criticize me for being impulsive. Not much to say about me. Right. Susanna is a very good friend. She's always been very kind to me. My father didn't like Susanna at all, but I'm glad he invited her anyway. Susanna's health is very delicate. The type to refuse a drink, right? Right. Dick is a strange fellow. Sometimes I feel I've always known him, yet I've only known him for a month. Dick inherited Aunt Agnes's entire fortune. The day the will was read, Dick and Rebecca violently argued about the money. Rebecca was furious and my father had to intervene to prevent her from striking Dick. A little while later, my father went to see Dick to apologize and invited him on board to try to make up for it. Right. Hector is my father's butler. Followed her father like the shadow. How is it that he's dead then? Doesn't know anything that belonged to my father. I have no idea where he got it, but he was extremely proud of it. Nothing about the thank you note. Nothing about the meeting at the bar. Necklace belongs to me. Inspector, it was a present from my aunt Agnes and it belonged to me. Medicine must have been for my aunt. Don't see what you're talking about. Becca took care of the engagement invitations. Agnes is my dad's aunt, but I felt closer to her than I did to my own father. Agnes was seriously ill, but she refused to let us take care of her. She was scared stiff of doctors. My father was the middleman between the doctor and my aunt. It was my father who was giving her the medicine. Yeah, this is all weird to me. Agnes died of a heart attack. doesn't know anything about the will, and she never told her about the son. Fine. There's Julio. We need to have a little chat with him as well. I think she's not happy with her hombre. Well, it doesn't really come across. Senor Logan is very protective of Senor Carabojan. Seems quite worried. Seems to be due to a real estate transaction that fails. Okay. That's new. I believe that this should have been the most beautiful day. Unfortunately, Daphne wanted to think a little bit more about before getting engaged. I do understand, my little darling, it's a very important decision. Quite. I don't know much Lasagna Carabuccian, pero she was much nice with me. Lasagna Carabuccian was macho Andrew. I don't know pork. Becca's not Daphne's mama. The poor thing lost her mama years ago. Because of this, that Rebecca and her don't look at all alike. We know this. Lasagna Carabuccian is a charming woman, but sometimes a little bossy. She's always been nice to me. Right. Rosa is muy simpática, señora. She's not happy with her hombre. We know this. Know why. Very nice old man. Is he really? Is he really? Yes, I remember El Padre organized a little charity event. Daphne and I helped him set it up. Susanna and Padre Fabiani saw each other often for a time. Right. As far as I remember, I never worked as much as my life, but El Padre looked happy, and I think he collected a large amount of money. I don't doubt it. Daphne does not speak much of a madre. Daphne es una muy simpática señorita. Daphne is the señorita of my life and respect. I want to marry her. Yeah, sure you do. Becca's not Daphne's mama. We know all of this. Talk to him about Suzanne. Miss Suzanne is very kind, very delicate health. Seems last year she spent several months in hospital. All of this. This must have lasted 5 months. When she got out, she seemed to have aged 10 years. Right. Smack, I don't know him much. Smack was mucho happy. I think it's una grande fortuna. Senator Carabuccia was mucho angry. I don't know pork. Yeah. Why? Ask him about all the various little tidbits. They played all night. Padre's eyes were gleaming. I never seen him like this. At the beginning it looked like El Padre was lucky. This quickly changed and then he bet everything. He lost much of that night. See that again. Let us see that again. Watch. Okay. Okay, so he lost it. Doesn't know anything about the meeting at the bar. Remember Agnes, it's the name of Daphne's aunt. It didn't go without the problem. The old senator wanted to stay home, but as Alessandro Carabogian insisted, she ended up by accepting. Alas, he's passed away lately, and Daphne is very sad. Serious illness. Okay. Done here for now. Now we go back to the bar. Spent a good portion of the game in the bar. So discuss things with Suzanne next. We've been through all of this. Rebecca's a real idiot. I really thought that Nicholas and Rebecca were perfect for each other. The same ambition, arrogance, and frightfully snotty attitude. For me, Rebecca is just an adventuress. She is determined and she knows exactly what she wants. He's to hide it very well, but I fear there's something going on between them. Yeah, I mean, already sort of know this. Don't know nothing at all about the dispute. Sincerely believe that Daphne doesn't like her stepmother. Rebecca, frankly, is not a cup of tea. Yeah, we sort of gathered. Rose is a very sweet girl and without a doubt very vulnerable. A few years ago, Rose was very affected by a love affair. Since then, she seems to be afraid to get involved in anything. Yeah, we sort of knew this. Don't know much more. Inspector, the poor girl really didn't have any luck to have fallen upon a guy like Tom. I think I understand why Rose is very lonely. As far as I can see, her husband doesn't seem to care about her. Yeah, we expected as much. Poker game. I heard about this poker party. Right. I didn't know her, but I believe that I remember that her name was Mercedes. Everyone was there except the fiancé. Yeah. Go on, Inspector. Daphne is a dynamic young girl and she has a temperature. Oh no. I mean, a temperament. She has a temperature, I'm sure. It's probably 37 degrees Celsius, roughly, give or take. Doesn't want to talk about the dispute. Know anything about Dick and Rebecca's dispute. He looks very nice, doesn't he? Are they hooking up? An easy way to get at the money, right? He's never seen the pocket watch. Welcome in, guys. Hey there, Johnny boy.
Sky.
Thanks for the raid, Safo. Welcome in. We're about maybe 2/3 into this game now. After restarting it 3 times already. Hey there, Pac-Mick. Welcome in. Hey there, Retro Gamer. Hey there, Lucas. Lucas Reinfeldt, welcome in. And Lister of Smeg, the master of Cypher's Nightmare, welcome in as well. Yeah, this is a lovely game. We've been there is a very annoying bug in the WHD load version I have of this game, which has caused me to lose the ability to save a few times. The shortcut to reach the save menu ceases to work for some reason. So I keep having to start it over again and again. So this time around I've played it from the beginning. And I'm probably going to finish it off tonight. But the game takes place between like 8 a.m. and I think it's something like 4 p.m. or so where it ends. Maybe 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And it's almost 2 o'clock now, almost 2 p.m. So yeah, I think that part of the problem might be that I'm running this on an 060, but I've tried all sorts of turning off the CPU cache and so on. Doesn't seem to really help. Hey, the Just Use as well, and awkward artwork, welcome in, guys. Oh, hello, Artem the Viking, welcome in. I've taken so much time in replaying this game twice that I've sort of decided that we should just do it from start to finish in one stream. That's the plan for tonight, where if it's 2 p.m. now and the game ends at like 6 p.m., that means we're 6 hours into the roughly 10 hours it takes. 60% done or so. Now, yeah, I'm just following a guide at this point because I can't keep restarting this game every time. It will take forever. So I'm just, if we run into any sort of problems, I sort of wrote down what I've already done. I reached roughly 2 p.m. last time I played it, so then I will just follow the guide and finish it off. Because otherwise I will never finish the game with a bug. And I'm gonna cheat my way through it. But Iceland. I'm located in Iceland. The backstory of this game is basically that there was an old man, Nicholas Karabuchian, that had quite a bit of money, and he was on this cruise with his loved ones and his friends and his solicitor and all sorts of people, and he wound up dead. And there are multiple possible suspects, and we're the detective. We're trying to figure out what happened to the old man. And there's quite a few people that are involved here. There's Tom, his solicitor, which is probably having an affair with the old man's wife, which certainly makes him a suspect. There's Julio, the guy that's trying to marry his daughter. There's Rebecca, his wife, but also potentially having an affair with his solicitor. There's Rose, who is the solicitor's wife, who wouldn't believe it if you said anything negative about her husband. There's Father Fabiani, a friend of the family, who's a gambler and who seems to have lost his skin multiple times gambling, and probably had some sort of scam charity event for to raise money for a bell tower. And he's a subject for sure. There's Daphne, his daughter, who didn't like him very much. There's Dick, the illegitimate son of the old man's aunt, and the recipient of most of her fortune, since she died fairly recently. So he's an obvious suspect. There's Hector, the butler. Got to know the old man in the war. If ever there was a time for the butler to have done it, this is probably the game. And then there's Agnes, the aunt who who the old man nurtured on her deathbed, and she left him with absolutely nothing. He's sort of a side character in the story, but he sort of goes to build a plot. And there is Mercedes, his former wife, who died in a car accident. That's basically the plot of the game so far. Yeah, I'm usually stored in the ice cream section, but I'm occasionally found in the frozen food section as well, which I guess is pretty much all of Iceland. Did you know that we're suing over the Iceland name and the brand? We're trying to we and Switzerland are trying to stake the claim that you can't trademark a country name. And if we do win, then the store has to be called something other than Iceland. So, and I will be found in the frozen section or the ice cream section of some other store, or it will at least be called something else. Now, this is Suzanne. She's a friend of the family and a friend of the priest. She has a drinking problem. She's basically an alcoholic. She was in hospital just a few months ago for multiple months to try out, but she's already started drinking again. We're cross-examining her right now about what we found so far. Daphne spoke little of her mother, but she barely knew her. See, Agnes is Nicholas's aunt. We know this. Agnes was obviously an old lady, but she had an iron constitution. Illness struck her down with one blow. Instead of hospitalizing her, Nicholas moved her to his house to take care of her. This is suspect as well. Why did he insist on taking the old lady into his house and nursing her there? That's pretty much it. Let's ask her about the various items that we already have. She doesn't know anything about the pocket watch or the thank you note. She wasn't near the meeting at the bar. All we know is there was some meeting at the bar where the Father Fabiani and the old man were arguing about something. We don't know exactly what. Yeah, we've been playing through these Delphine adventures here. We played through. We started with Future Wars, and then we played through Operation Stealth, and we're ending with this one. Then I'm going to swap, and I'm going to start playing the Amiga role-playing games here on Wednesdays, and I'm going to be playing the adventure games on the PC instead on Fridays. I'm doing a bit of a swap of games again. Don't think she knows much of anything else here. Now we need to go to the dining room. If we ever want to find the minister or the priest, he always seems to be in the dining room. This game was very popular when it came out, and I think a lot of people actually finished this game. But yeah, I agree. The LucasArts games are better, but this is obviously the best game in the series from Delphine. The interface in this game is you can sort of see the interface maturing in front of us here. The interface in Future Wars was pretty primitive. Then it grew up a little bit in Operation Stealth, and in this game it's gotten pretty manageable. But, there's a bit of pixel hunting and various little bits and pieces that change. Let's go over the story with the priest again. Tom doesn't dedicate much time to his wife. Truthfully speaking, I don't think he has ever given her much attention, even before they were married. That's certainly true. I have the feeling they get along very well. He thinks the solicitor is an opportunist, young and brilliant, and takes advantage of his situation. And now see where this has brought Rose. One breakdown after another. This marriage has ruined her life. Right. Yeah. Doesn't want to go as far as saying that Tom and Rebecca are having an affair, but this might be the same priest. It's not impossible. Maybe he gambled himself into a problem where he had to become a mercenary to gain some gold back. I remember the main point of Chaos Engine was to collect the coins, so maybe that's what he's doing in Chaos Engine. Yeah, I don't think we need to discuss Julio the Gigolo much more. I never thought that Nicholas would remarry. When he introduced us to Rebecca, we were all a little bit surprised. Yeah, apparently his second marriage to Rebecca happened very quickly, so quickly in fact that his daughter didn't even make it to the wedding. Done very fast, a civil ceremony, few witnesses, and imagine that I was not even consulted. Rebecca is an ambitious woman, I'll say. He doesn't know anything about their dispute. There isn't any to put it simply, they ignore each other. It's better this way. At each, the girl has her own mind. I believe that Daphne would not tolerate Rebecca's character for very long. Yeah, the old man's daughter and his second wife don't get along at all. Yeah, that will make the ending even more fun if you stick around, Lucas. Rebecca is an ambitious and arrogant woman, ready to do anything to get what she wants. Not at all like Daphne's mother, a quiet and gentle person. Right. Rose is the solicitor Melvin's daughter. She's shy and reserved. It's not a happy marriage. Certainly as far as Rose is concerned, however, it doesn't really seem to bother Tom. If you want my opinion, the guy is a scoundrel. Yeah, sort of agree with that. Rose never had a chance. Before meeting Tom, she was engaged to a young man, Raphael Lambert, a right jerk as well. Only a few days after their engagement, Raphael was found in a brothel, dead drunk, with a creature of little known virtue. You can imagine the scandal. Rose's father, Solicitor Melvin, got rid of the swine. But poor Rose never got over his deception. We haven't seen Lambert since. Right. She knows how to pick them, doesn't she? Now he says that he got the funds for the bell tower from the old man. But if you ask him about the charity event, he says it wasn't a big success, but that's not what the other characters of the game say. They say it raised a ton of money, so I have a feeling that he used a bit of that money to finance his own gambling debts. At least it seems very likely that he did. Nicholas's first wife, Inspector Mercedes. Nicholas's first wife, Inspector Mercedes, and Nicholas were the perfect couple. Daphne was furious. As usual, Nicholas forgot to consult the person. Yeah, he basically planned her engagement party, but she didn't show up. That went well. Hated everything that was imposed on her. We've talked in depth with him about Suzanne. We've talked about the illegitimate son of Agnes quite a bit as well. He doesn't really know anything about that or the butler. Agnes was an exemplary Christian. Tragic error of youth. We get the backstory here. What how Dick came to be. Teacher was a young and handsome man. Happened. This created a family scandal. Agnes's father threw the poultry monster out of his house and locked up his daughter. Basically, the piano teacher knocked her up. And there was a child that was put in the orphanage. And she was shut away in a convent. Yeah, that's an Amiga 4000 tower. In all its glory. Now let's see here. Mercedes was an admirable woman expector. Her sweetness and gentleness contrasted strongly with Nicholas's character. I never understood how such opposites get along. Nicholas was decimated by her death. Nicholas gave her the car for their 6th wedding anniversary. I think he still regrets it, as he believes he was fully responsible for his wife's death. He doesn't regret it now, he's dead. A real tragedy for Daphne and Nicholas. Same. Yeah, we know all of this. We don't need to go through this again. I think we're done with the father for now. Leave him to his meal. We need to go have a conversation with the butler next. He is here somewhere. The butler's cabin. Very nice shortcut with the very nice shortcut by using the map. It's quite handy actually. He's not there. He might be in the office. You can walk around the ship by examining and going up above and through the doors and so on, but it's so much quicker to use the map. What's new, Inspector? Let's see. We have so many questions. I think the problem stems from the fact that there are none. Interesting. Haven't noticed anything. Her ladyship loved the master to get involved in that sort of adventure. Yeah, I'm fairly sure they're having an affair. Logan is a brilliant man who doesn't have problems in this day and age regarding his financial difficulties. I don't believe that for a second. No, Mr. Logan is no saint. He courts every pretty lady around him. Recently, he seems to be paying more attention to his business than pretty women. Okay. Looks as if Mr. Logan has grave financial difficulties. We sort of heard about this before. Mr. Logan is no saint. You let the rumors influence you, Inspector. They're certainly up to something. I think we can almost certainly assume they're up to something, but whether they killed the old man and It's a better question. He's a young man from a good family. I think he will make an excellent partner for Miss Daphne. Loves his cars. Very respectable family. Rich father. Miss Daphne is rather copious. She couldn't even show up for her own engagement party despite the fact that her parents arranged everything to perfection. Yeah, right. Probably should have discussed it with her at least. Her ladyship is a very strong-headed woman. Her master met her ladyship at a reception at the American Embassy in Paris. Her ladyship was very charming and ambitious. One thing led to another. They were married 6 months later. Yeah, that's pretty fast. Don't pay attention, Ex-Inspector. Madam is very impulsive. I think you let the rumors influence you. Even though they quarreled from time to time, they ended up getting along. Mrs. Karabujan is a very charismatic woman, but unfortunately she's not a perfect housewife. I sometimes regret that the master's first wife, Dante's mother, is no longer here with her calm, sweet nature. Yeah. She's impulsive, but is she impulsive enough to actually kill someone? Mrs. Logan is strange enough. Under her fragile exterior, I suspect she's a very strong woman. Could be. It's not a model of success. Doesn't know anything about this Raphael Lambert. Father Fabiani is a brave man, always ready to help. Afraid the father will face some big problems. Yeah. As I can see, you heard about it. Father Fabiani lost everything that night. He was furious. He came to see the master the next day, and I can tell you they had a heated discussion. Yeah, that's after the poker game where the father basically went all in, lost everything that he had. The father, totally desperate, tried to pressure the master into reimbursing him, but the master refused as he thought this money was honestly won. The father left in a rage. Yes, Father Fabiani was looking for money. He even organized a small charity event followed by an auction. Times are hard and one does what one can to raise a little money, but in my opinion the father is not ready to repair the bell tower. Master has been very generous and the father ended up collecting a huge amount of money. Yeah, I suspected as much. Believe me, without the master, Fabiani wouldn't have collected such a great deal of money. Right. The end of Father Fabiani. We've been friends for a long time. Father Fabiani wouldn't leave it for anything in the world. His suitcase is basically a traveling casino. It has everything that you need. It's in the blood. You expect. Right. This was a very beautiful woman. She and the master made a stunning couple. The young miss, despite her appearance, is very sweet. Miss Plum is a courageous woman, honest and reliable. She and Father Fabiani have been friends for a long time. Fabiani insisted in having Miss Plum invited on board. Frankly speaking, the master wasn't enthusiastic about the idea, but he accepted in order to please the father. The master didn't like Miss Plum very much. Yeah, we knew this. Alas, her love of alcohol will destroy her, without a doubt. Doesn't know Mr. Smock. Smock is a rich man now. Working for the master for 20 years. Starting working for the master around 20 years ago. At that time, I had very few runners with the law. I had a few runners with the law, and I couldn't find a job. I accepted instantly when the master proposed to employ me. Yeah, it's much more fun to play these games with loading from the hard drive for sure. No hanging around waiting for disk loads endlessly. I remember games like I had a hard drive for the Amiga 500 as well, and basically when you reached the point where you had 4 or more floppies, especially with games like Beyond the Steel Sky and Monkey Island 2, where you had 10 or 11 floppies, it was unplayable if you didn't have a hard drive. Yeah, once you reach that sort of number, it, maybe in some games they made great emphasis on actually applying the sections to disks so that you wouldn't constantly have to swap. So if you had 2 drives, maybe you didn't have to swap so much. But in some cases, it was obviously not optimized at all, and you just ended up having to swap disks endlessly back and forth, like when you had to install the TCP/IP stack from Windows 95 or 98 from a floppy. If you've ever done that, it requires like 15 or 20 disk swaps. Read one file from one floppy, and then you put in another floppy and read one file, and so on. He's never seen the pocket watch. It's the thank you note for the donation. Doesn't know anything about the meeting at the bar. Doesn't know who killed him. Knows who the necklace belongs to. Doesn't know anything about the prescription for the old woman. Doesn't know anything about the press clipping. Hasn't seen the receipts from Cartier. Yeah. Miss Agnes was always good to me. Daphne loved it very much. The master's aunt was very ill. As the master, he felt she would be better cared for at his manor. Yeah, good luck, Savo, at work. I'll see you tomorrow for marbles. The master proposed. Thanks again for the raid, man. Much appreciated. The master proposed that his aunt stay with him. She was living alone at the time. She readily accepted. Right. The master was at the beck and call of his aunt. He did everything possible to make her stay at the manor pleasant. Alas, despite his effort, her ladyship succumbed to the illness. Suffered deeply after her death. Okay. Similar story to everyone else regarding this. For the wedding anniversary, the master gave her a car. He personally chose the model. The accident happened a few weeks later. The master has always felt responsible. Don't know the details. Just started working for them. Killed in a car accident when Daphne was only 5 years old. That's pretty much it then. What time is it at this point in the game? Now we go to the upper deck. And now all of a sudden there's a bag here with some gun advertisement. But who has given you permission to look through my purse, Inspector? But that's enough, Inspector. You're not behaving like a gentleman. Can I help you, Inspector? Was it the solicitor's wife that did the old man in? Really? Let's discuss this ad here. Well, I was looking for a gift for my husband for our wedding anniversary. As you know, he collects arms, and I thought this gun would make him happy. That's a plausible explanation, I suppose. Tom is crazy about anything related to guns. This is new information to us, really. Tom and I have agreed to never speak about work. Tom would have told me about it. No, those two sentences, they collide with each other. If you already agreed to never speak about work, he wouldn't have told you anything about his financial difficulties, right? Pretty sure she knows absolutely nothing about his affairs, both monetary and sexually. It's over with. Doesn't want to discuss this thing with Raphael Lambert, the guy that was found at the brothel. Gambling for ages. Doesn't know anything about the poker game. I think she tries out to have people believe that she is like this. She doesn't know much about Hector. He's always been very discreet. It's unnerving to know nothing of someone's past, especially if you've known them for years. He must be Pat Mick. There's a shadow stuck to him like glue. Never experienced this type of relationship before. They were very close, but it didn't seem to be friendship. How the tables turned. How were they close then? Which belonged to Nicholas. He knows everything about the meeting and that the father and the old man fought. That she knew. Some people say that Nicholas only acted in his own interest. Agnes was rich. Yeah. Yeah, good night, Lucas. Thanks for coming in. I'll crack on with this until we complete it. We're done with Rose now, I think. Yeah, time advances. There's one good thing about this game. You know, when you've completed all the dialogue, you need to move ahead with the game when the clock advances. Now we need to go to Tom and Rosa Logan's cabin. The solicitor and his wife. We need to go there now. All this dialogue is then yeah, good night, Pat Mick. Thanks for coming in. All this dialogue is then occasionally replaced with some pixel hunting and some searching around for items somewhere. It's the occasional bit that breaks up all the endless research work that you have to do. Usually involves something like a wardrobe or a laundry basket or something of that sort, or some finding a note or a key or something on the floor or under a chair or inside the cabinet and so on. You can't get into all of the cabinets at the start of the game, so you have to sort of gradually try to get into all of these rooms. We move ahead. And we found some sort of letter in this cabinet, which we, for some reason, can't read. Let's get out of here. Probably read it now. Miss, my name doesn't mean anything to you. However, our destinies are intertwined. You will understand why. One day a man came to see me and offered me a large sum of money to accompany one of his friends. I followed him without being suspicious and discovered that the young man I had to take care of was real cute. When I arrived, he had already drank quite a lot. I, being of happy nature, joined him and partied all night. In the early morning, the same man turned up with 2 cops and grabbed Raphael, calling him every name under the sun. That's when I realized something was very wrong, so I ran away. It wasn't until a few days later that I learned that Raphael had left town, chased by his future father-in-law, and that he was engaged to you. Now that you know the whole truth, I hope you will forgive me for all the harm that I've done to you, Lola. P.S. The man that came to me called himself Karabujan. Oh, really? The plot thickens, Mr. Dickens. So how does that tie together? How was Karabujan involved in breaking up her marriage? Was that all part of some plan? Well, there she goes. Guess we better get her out of the sea. While Suzanne, who has been finally faced on the sea, recovers from a little trauma. The cables holding a guardrail was sawed through. This is not an accident, but a true blue attempted murder. Why did they want to take Suzanne out? What does she know that she hasn't already told us? Why would they have... Yes, Inspector, but be aware that someone wants to kill me, I'm certain of it. Well, either you or they wanted to kill someone else standing there. The only person I would have suspected is dead. Here's a letter from Agnes which put a thought into my head. Dear Suzanne, excuse me, my dear friend, for taking so long to respond to your last letter. Despite my nephew Nicholas's intense care, my health seems to be getting poorer every day. You will think that I'm a crazy old woman, but sometimes I'm convinced that it's the medicine that is making me sick. Yeah, that's sort of what I've suspected for a long time, that he did the old woman in. But enough about me. Do you have any news of, etc., your friend Agnes Karabujan? I think that Nicholas accommodated Agnes to get hold of her fortune. Agnes was in excellent health. She started having pain, so that very day Nicholas came to see her. Yeah, that's sort of what I suspected as well. Now, alas, I made it a point that Father Fabiani got me invited by Nicholas. I wanted to take advantage of the cruise to carry on my investigation, but now that Nicholas is dead, it's not worth it, is it? Well, that depends. Oh, another thing, Inspector, would you mind going to my cabin and bringing me my cosmetic case? It's in the wardrobe. Sure, I'll bring it to you right away. Let us see. Where was her? Here, sorry. Daphne and Suzanne were together in the cabin. Good God, someone's been here searching. Yeah. Looking for what? Looking for what exactly? Nothing else in this wardrobe now. Something on the floor, a music box. Okay, there's something missing. Something else that we should have done. Can we access the kitchen at this point? No, still can't. Nothing happening here. Nothing here either. There's the good father again. He didn't know she was investigating something. Okay. He knows nothing more. There's nothing. Only really the one drawer here. Already searched it. guess we could search the laundry room again. So lots and lots of places to search there. Oh, did we find something? You found small key. All master key, there's no inscription. Okay. Go back to back here. See if we can potentially put it. This sort of seemed to be like a keyhole here. It seems like a keyhole. Yeah. It is. Why can we do this again and again? Hear a clicking sound. Which did what? Open something. Oh. This is the point where, like many previous games in this series, this gets a little freaky, but okay. The letter that we already found from that Lola. Assume we have. This is that receipt. June 16, 1912, Nicholas. I've done the little job you asked me to do. I will come by tonight to get my payment. I must warn you, no dirty tricks or you will regret it, you know who. When was this other letter? Isn't really dated. So are these two related? Did he pay someone? So his solicitor could marry that girl. Why? Why? Not much of anything happening here at the moment. We can't get in here. Father is perfectly calm here. See if we can discuss this with him at all. Oh, really? Go to the bar, see who's there. I'm quickly inspect if there's something going on. Oh, cutscene. Come on, Rebecca, don't be a child. We'll work it out. Prepare to die. I'm going to blow your head off. No, don't shoot. Wow, the throw of the back. Plot twist. Daphne's purse is there on the ground in front of us. Handbag. It's shameful, I'm a gentleman. You're also a detective. You can search a bag. Go, Inspector. This is not the time to bother us. Inspector, this is not the time. The hell are they doing? Well, I guess we could head to the captain's cabin. No, we can't get in. Fine. That's the... No. How may I help you, Inspector? Hmm? He isn't of any help at all. Let's head back to the bar. It's probably the place we want to be. Everything on this ship happens at the bar. I remember this letter. Daphne already showed it to me. She was frightfully astonished. I admitted that it was an amazing coincidence and it was right to be suspicious. Right. I understand better now. The other night at dinner, Nicholas made a lousy joke which was really uncalled for about hookers. I turned around and caught Rose staring at Nicholas. Really surprised to see such an awfully cold and determined look on the face of that girl who was usually so sweet. I didn't pay attention to it at the time, but now that you mention it. Did she really whack him? Is it the quiet understanding type that's had enough with the male gender and just shot the old man? He certainly seems to have had it coming. Yeah. Isn't much more help to be had here, but this was pretty valuable information nonetheless. Take Bit of a walk here. Visit every cabin. We need to talk to pretty much everyone here. Talk to pretty much everyone about what we've discovered recently. There's quite a bit of it. Door is locked. Haven't talked to Julio again. Nothing here. Nothing here. Yeah, he's doesn't know anything. Came to bring back your purse. Thank you, Inspector. That's very nice. No, Rebecca wouldn't have had enough guts. Rebecca and my father were counting on getting Aunt Agnes's money. Yeah. Why? Why were they doing so? I know nothing about this. Sort of curious now whether that's actually true, whether Tom is actually a gun collector. Very discreet. It was a few years ago. Bad love affair. It took her some time to get herself back together. See any reason why Rose would want to get back at my father? Yeah. Sort of know why, but don't quite understand it yet. Day of the reading of the will, my father and Rebecca were found spruced up in Solicitor Melville's office. Okay. Karabujan, Mrs. Karabujan, you're here, called here today in order to hear the last will and testament of your aunt Agnes Karabujan. Wait. I hereby read that which concerns you. To my nephew Nicholas, who is so fond of money, I bequeath the magnificent horn of plenty that was given to me by his mother, as well as the sum of 2,000 francs in compensation for the expenses incurred during my stay at his home. I like the old lady already. Bequeath the rest of my fortune to my son Dick, who I never stopped loving. But this is a real shame. She doesn't have the right. Of course she does. Her money, she can do with it as she pleases. Won't let this happen. Hi, cousin. Yeah. They've gone over swimmingly. Right. Right. Mr. Inspector, I have something to tell you. Right. Inspector, what I have to tell you must stay between the two of us. Right. I promise I'll be discreet. About Rose. Rose? Yes, Rose, she killed my husband. She really had the best reasons for doing it. Yeah, she's certainly pretty high on the suspect list right now. Oh, really? What do you mean? Rafael Lambert, do you know him? Lambert, Rose's ex-fiancé. Yes, well, Inspector, you should know that it was Nicholas who took care of getting rid of Lambert. Of course, he did it upon the request of Rose's father, Melville, who didn't fancy his daughter going out with him. Rose found out, and since then, she's wanted to get back at Nicholas. Oh, the plot thickens. It's her, Inspector, she even bought a gun. Yes, but Nicholas was killed with a knife. Never mind that, Inspector. She probably realized that we knew she had a gun, therefore she used another method. Good. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I think that all of this will be useful. But remember, Inspector, Rose hated Nicholas. I think pretty much everyone did. Doesn't seem to have been a very nice person. At least quite a few people on this ship that have a valid reason to have wanted to do the old man in. One on the upper deck. Walk back to the upper deck side. On here. Everyone has something to tell us at this point. I would like you to keep to yourself what I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Speak freely, Rose. Oh, this is a very delicate subject and concerns the relationship between my husband and Rebecca. So you knew about it? Yeah, I pretty much assumed she did. Yes, Tom is a poor liar, you know. Of course, go ahead. This was all Rebecca's fault. Tom is easily influenced, and it was she who cooked everything up. Go on, Rose, what do you mean? Last night, I had left my knitting bag on the deck. I went to look for it, and as I was passing the Carapuccian's cabin, what did I see? Did you see, Rose? Beck and Tom were leaving. They were whispering, and it looked as if they were arguing. And then Tom approached the guardrail. He threw something overboard. I didn't see what it was, but now it's obvious that it was the murder weapon. Better believe me, Tom has nothing to do with it. It's that witch who plotted everything. Well, thank you for being honest, Rose. Are you going to arrest him, Inspector? Quite possibly, but before I do, I have to finish my investigation. Right. No one home. Let's do the rounds on the other side. Thanks for your time, Inspector. What I have to tell you won't take long. Your service, Father. Well, I know who killed poor Nicholas. Now all of a sudden everybody knows. Continue, Father. This bothers me very much. Suzanne is a very good friend, but I can't keep this secret any longer. Out with it, Father. You certainly know that Suzanne had a great affection for Agnes, while poor Suzanne is convinced that Nicholas killed her friend, and she's probably not wrong either. And she insisted on being invited on board to take revenge. I swear I didn't know anything, Inspector. How would I have known that she would take advantage of this cruise to kill Nicholas? Thank you, Father. That will help my investigation. Inspector, believe me, I have nothing to do with it. I still think he's probably the one that actually has the that is most likely to have killed the old man, but there's certainly a competition for that spot. I think talking to this guy is absolutely useless. I think he's just there to annoy us. One here. We all blame each other. Haven't talked to Daphne yet. Is she in her cabin? Where is Daphne then? At the bar, perhaps, where everything happens on this nice little cruise. As Suzanne, at least. Yeah. He's certainly not just there to drink. Sort of ruled her out as a suspect. I don't think she actually did it. Although it's impossible at all. If I were you, I would get off this boat immediately. Where is Daphne? Dining room. Where on earth is Daphne? There's Dick. It's largely useless. Poor thing. Butler is not here. No one here except the engine man. Still here. He talked with this guy quite a bit. Doubt he knows much of anything more. More interested in having a conversation with Daphne. Where is she? Did we miss her somehow? That's just Julio. Not there. Mm-hmm. Where is she? Why can't we... Let's talk a little bit with Suzanne since we're here. It's obvious they're having an affair. I'm sure that you will think I'm a backstabber, but in my opinion, this Tom planned everything down to the last detail. By marrying Rose, he became the main partner of Rose's father, Solicitor Melville. Sure. Sure, that is the case. That is the case. If stays it. These two, they have something to hide. We have to look at them. Here, Inspector, yesterday I saw them. They were speaking whispers, and that Tom character had a large knife in his hand. Really? Possible, but it wouldn't be like him. None of my business, but if I saw my wife on the arm of a guy running around with a weapon of this kind, would you think there was something going on? Yeah, undoubtedly. Doubt it. Becca like a hysterical woman threw herself on me, but as I'm a gentleman, stop her. Right. We need to talk to Tom, right? I can get in here. That's the only thing I can actually get into. There's nothing inside here. Oh. Are we missing at this point? Missing something. That's for sure. Now she's there. So we needed to have this conversation with Dick before we can talk to Daphne. I know who killed my father, Inspector. It was Father Fabiani. The worst idea I've heard. Take care, Daphne. You're making a serious accusation. I'm certain of what I'm saying. The father gathered a substantial amount of money from the auction. He lost everything during a poker game with your father. Yes, but how did you know? No, quite a bit. Never mind, all that matters is that I know, well, the day after this famous poker game, Father Fabiani came to the house to speak to my father. He openly threatened to kill him if my father didn't give him back the money. Okay, but that's not enough to make him a murderer. I assure you, yesterday Father Fabiani had a meeting with my father. Believe it or not, when I passed him in the corridor, I noticed that he was carrying some strange object in his pocket, surely the murder weapon. Thanks for this explanation, Daphne. Believe me, Inspector, money and gambling have made more than one person lose their head. It does seem a likely suspect, but I don't actually think the father did it. I'm leaning towards either Tom or Rebecca, probably Tom. Let's discuss this a little bit. If we can. She's never heard about the poker game. She thinks it was a huge amount of money. Discuss this a little bit. Yeah. Sort of know all of this already. I was hoping that what we've learned recently would have added something to this conversation. It appears that during the last war, Nicholas saved Hector's life on several occasions. At the end of the war, Hector started working for him out of gratitude. Okay. Fine. It's very likely, but she's not sure about the suspicions. Looks can be deceiving. Can certainly be deceiving. What time is it at this point? We've already spoken to Fabiani. Fabiani says that Suzanne did it. Rebecca says that Rose killed Nicholas. Daphne blames the father for the murder. Rose says she knew of the affair and is blaming Rebecca as the murderer. They can't all have killed the old man. Some of them must be innocent, right? So go talk to Dick again. He had some information. He knew about that knife, which was new information. on, Inspector. At her age, there are more important things. Right. Doesn't know any of this. Knows nothing about any of this stuff. Go through the talking points again. See if there's anything that we haven't discussed with him. Much it seems. We obviously discussed something with him that advanced the clock. I don't think we discussed anything with him that we hadn't previously. Maybe it just matters in which order it's being done. Who haven't we talked to? We've talked to the father very recently. We talked to Daphne. We talked to Julio. He's absolutely useless. Try talking to the butler again. Have a little bit more information than we did. Still not here. He's still in his master's chambers. Have a little bit more information than when we spoke to him last. Very little though. I help you. Sure. Influence you. Don't believe what you see, Inspector. This is just Mr. Logan's facade underneath it all. I think he's weak. That might be true. He doesn't believe they were having an affair. Pretty certain they were. Almost convinced. Don't see why. Oh. There are certainly reasons. We discuss him a little bit as well. The master supported me through my hard times in prison. Since that time, I've done everything possible to show him my gratitude. Nothing serious, Inspector. Youth's foolishness. I was seeing a young waitress. She let me on. I was young and hot-headed. The young lady had to be hospitalized and I was sent to prison. I met the master while out on a weekend pass. We became instant friends. Right. The butler could still have done it, you know. Certainly doesn't rule it out. Okay. See whether we can get into any cabins now that we couldn't get into before. We weren't able to go in here. We weren't able to go in here. You know. Can talk with her again. Want my advice, Inspector Rustin back on the top of herself. The other night she came to see Nicholas threaten him. Can't remember much. Something like revenge, I think. Nicholas shut her outside. Hmm. Right. She let herself get carried away. I'll say. I'll say. At least we can get into our cabin now, which is more than we could. That means other cabins as well. Here. Have we been able to get in here for a while, right? Nothing in here. Wait. There is something in there. The hell was that on the floor? Standing right on top of it. I just saw it when we were leaving the room. That wasn't there before, we would have noticed it. We've been in here multiple times. There's something here on the floor. Sir, please come quickly as I have something important to tell you. I wait for you in my cabin. Come on, take the note. Take the note, silly boy. Where do you think you're going? Hmm? Take. Time marches on. Hector's note. Okay, it's the butler. We just spoke to him, but assuming we needed to. Assuming we needed to find this note to. Oh, he's not here. Means that he's probably where you would think he was. In his actual room. Inspector Quick. Yes. The corpse, Nicholas. This wasn't Nicholas. Huh? Actually, the corpse, the murderer is. What does that mean? What does he mean it wasn't Nicholas? What on earth does he mean that it wasn't Nicholas? Where do we go now? This is a completely different story. Nothing to be had here. It's in the dining room, if anyone. Here, there are still rooms in this little cruise boat that we haven't been able to visit. Oddly enough. Nothing here. Never been able to get into the kitchen. That hasn't changed. Nothing changed here. We tried to get into the kitchen from the outside. The cook doesn't want to let us enter. Comes out with a cleaver and tries to chop us up. Well, that's a lie. Cook is certainly not there now. Want the spices? Time to drink? Why not? The perfect. Oh, there's a can opener there. This is at least the first time we've actually been able to go into this room. I guess for some reason we're supposed to find this can opener now. Oh, I can't really tell exactly why. Can we even get out of this room again? Probably using the map. Inspect the garlic. Bam, baram, baram, Inspector Garlic. And it's covered with grease. How to get... You can see the dining room. Okay. We've already been in the dining room. Okay, some water. How is that useful? There's a hatch on the floor. What? Where on earth are we? We are pixel hunting. And actually a lot of things in this room. It's not that right. A lot of stuff here, but not a lot of stuff here. Something there. Bar. Take that. Case here. Guess we can. The crowbar. Case. What? Please. Here the barrel. We're supposed to use the crowbar. Wine. Or. Close. Bar. Doesn't actually seem to want to use the crowbar on any of this. How's this? Boards have been put. This. I happen to have a crowbar. Standing right there. What's here? Reel of film. Interesting. From our previous playthrough of this game, I think it was the first stream we discovered that in smoking lounge there is a projector. I had already figured out how to open it, but I didn't really have anything to use it with. I suppose now we do. A spool of film must be important because somebody has taken the trouble to hide it, I'll say. Examine. Sink a spool. Okay. Plugged into live current. What happens if you operate the switch? It's missing. Because at this point in the game we can no longer save. I very much want to finish this game tonight. Let's see if we can. Because we can't even say we would have to play through all of this all over again. Can we get into the hold now? Is this... Yeah, that's... Yeah. Are we supposed to be able to access these boxes? Canned food. Use. We found the can opener. Can't use the crowbar on any of these boxes that I can see. Oh, we can use it on this one. Actually didn't try this one. Try the crap. Very nice. We have the lovely can opener that we found. What's that? Is that a grenade in the... Was that a grenade in the... There's one puzzle that we haven't solved in the game. And we also solved, I think, in the second stream, which was in the engine room. I didn't give it much thought then, but it occurs to me that now might be the place. Solve that little riddle. Some hookup that we needed to do here. Few things here. Box of electrical spare parts. We didn't have the crowbar. Something else here. Okay. Also something on top of it. What? This is an item, right? Screw. Okay. Put a screwdriver. Also look behind here. Okay, there were also some loose boards over on this side. But at least this one. To use the crowbar on this. Move this first. Have the crowbar. Ah, this is another way. What? No. Go to murder this game. You have got to be kidding me. After all the time we've spent on this to get stuck like this, what an ending. Okay, I guess this needs yet another stream. I guess we'll have to get back to this. I can't even load. Don't have a recent save, and I can't even access the load menu, so we're basically screwed. I have to go back to the last save that we did and redo everything we did up to that point. And have to do a few minutes of finishing this up at some point. Don't have more time tonight. It's quite late here. I was just in the interest of trying to finish this off so we can start something else. The last failure. Complete and utter failure. That's just life. We'll have to do this some other time. Let's see if we can throw a raid here. There is a Game Squad and he's playing Gradius 3. Let us throw him a raid very quickly. I'll set it up. Now, thanks again, Coconut and Sypho for the raids. And thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for sticking with me almost through this. I guess we will have to conclude this. Next Wednesday. Until then, you have an excellent rest of the night. You sleep well, and later we're back here Friday for more Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis on the PC. See you then.